Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Diverse Discussions Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and all other audio and video streaming platforms. We're your hosts, Beast Daily, and
Daddy Lucifer. And we wanted to catch up on the last podcast we spoke about a little bit. We want to touch up a little bit on that. We also wanted to talk about current events and how we've been and what we've been going through lately since we haven't been, it's been a little bit. You want to go or?
yeah. So since the last podcast, we talked about online dating and just dating in general. And there's been a couple people that's hit us up and gave their opinions and thoughts on the matter. And you know, not everybody's gonna have the same opinions on everything we talk about. This is diverse discussions. We have different opinions and thoughts on everything out there. So, um, we apologize if there was anybody that was taking offense to anything we said. Um, but yeah, Lucy, you wanna?
Yeah. So, so I was pointed out at one point of something I said that got taken the wrong way, and I just wanted to clear that up. Um, it was talking about like the weight issue, right? Like
Yeah, the
yeah,
happy eating and
yeah. So if you've seen the last podcast, I was mentioning our guest that we had, which talked about he asked the question, what was it? It was if you what do you do if you're not physically attracted to somebody you've been with about a year or something like that, I think
after
it
a
was.
year. Yep.
And I was bringing up weight as a topic, and by no means was I trying to body shame anybody. So I'm sorry if anybody took it that way. I was just using that as an example because that tends to be a big issue. Like for a lot of people, do tend to body shame and stuff, and which I think we both think is wrong to do.
Hmm.
But I was just using it as an example because a lot of people use that. So I just thought that'd be the most relatable for a lot of people to get the point I was trying to make. And another thing we got told was it seemed like we were talking mostly from a male point of view, and by no
Hmm.
means were we trying to like say men's opinions matter more or anything like that. We're just men, so we were speaking from our point of view of the
Yeah.
situation. Um, we wouldn't. I don't feel like we would dare to speak on a woman's point of view how a woman feels. If we're not a woman, we don't
Hmm.
know how what it's like to be a woman. So that's why it might have seemed more like the male side, but that's because our guests and us were all male. So like
Yeah.
it's the same
But
thing when they're like trying to tell a woman like what she can and can't do with her body. It's a woman's
yeah.
body, woman's point of view, woman's life.
Yep.
We can only assume and speak on what we think about that.
Hmm. But if we would love for anybody out there, if you want to get on the podcast and bring in a woman's point of view, if we have another discussion about that same topic, hit us up. We would love to have a conversation about that and see the different point of views on that. Um,
Yeah, so I think what we could do is I think we could actually talk about what we've been up to and how we've been lately. It's been a while since we did the last podcast, and you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, such a gentleman. Okay,
Yeah.
so so me, for those who know me personally, I just got a new job. Super excited about it. Um, and, the inner Capricorn in me, I've been on that work grind, so it's been a little hard for us to do this. So that's on me. I'm trying to fix my scheduling and everything like that to make it fit more. Um, but other than that, I mean, I've been good. I love the job, love the new job, love the people I work with. Super fun, super interesting. I'm learning a lot at it too. Um, I mean, it's a crazy experience altogether. Like I love what I do and everything. I'm not gonna get too into it. Knock on wood. I don't want anything bad to happen. Um,
Mhm.
but what about you? You want to tell them how you been going?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm doing summer classes in college. I decided to go ahead and take that, try to get things over with a little bit quicker. Um, so really, both of us, we've really been a lot busier lately. But yeah, we really wanted to get another podcast out. We know it's been a little bit, since we don't really have a set schedule for any of these yet. Um, but that's pretty much all I've been doing, working and getting back into school.
I was gonna say I
But
wanted to ask you, have you been regretting doing the summer classes now? Like now that
Yeah,
with
yeah,
work
a
and
little bit.
school like nonstop. At least with like summer classes, you kind of get a break from it. But now you like said, screw the break. You just going
Yeah, a
at it
little
the whole
bit.
time. Man.
A little bit. I thought it would make things quicker, obviously, but um, most of the classes most things that are done within 16 weeks are done within 4 to 8 weeks, because most of them are just 2 months. It's a lot more compact, so you have a lot more to do in a short period of time. So it's not as easy, but I'll be happier when it's over with. At the end when I realized I did it quicker. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
and
what I was gonna say is I'm happy that you actually are going through it and getting this done quicker. So eventually maybe one day we do a live podcast. When
you
we
never
link
know.
up in real life and stuff. When he's done with schooling, we both have like time off from work and everything. Meet up. We're gonna maybe maybe in the future we do a real
Never know.
actual
Never know.
recording podcast.
Yeah, never know.
And also when we link up and stuff, we get in the studio, bro. We actually record together in the studio.
Have some live concerts. We can go out
Oh
there.
oh yeah, bro. We signing autographs at 10 in the afternoon or morning. 10 in the afternoon. That's night, bro.
10 afternoon in the morning. Yeah, I mean, look, we're at all times of the day. That's what.
We're just signing autographs all over, no matter what time of day. 2:00 in the morning, you a night owl? We got you, like.
Yeah. But really speaking on the music though, actually, you want to tell them since you've got a new job about the new setup?
Since I kind of opened the gateway to the music, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I'm started working again due to like difficulties in the past where I wasn't working, now that I'm working again, I'm planning on getting a setup put together so I can actually have better recording, better quality and stuff when I'm making music and stuff. And give this guy a break so he doesn't have to handle fixing the podcast and the music. I'll take over the music for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna be fun because also like it's just gonna be learning about that stuff too. Like I don't know, I want to become tech savvy. I'm not very tech savvy. I know this guy is, so I want to try and get into that more and learn more about that when I get this new setup and stuff. I don't know. What about you? Are you excited for the music? You excited when I get this set up? How we're gonna get back on this grind?
I am. I've been trying for a while now to get him back into it to do some TikTok.
Okay. Listen here. I want no. They're gonna hear this one out, boy. Listen.
All right, go ahead.
The reason I have been like put off a little bit doing this, I don't have a computer like at the moment. Like I just really needed one, so that's why I'm getting that together with a microphone. I'm getting a whole setup put together. So he had that stuff. so I was recording like my verses and my parts, my ad libs and everything on my phone, which is bootleg as hell. But it still worked
though. It worked.
It did work. It did work, but it's a lot harder to try and adjust everything on the phone and read off like the lyrics if anything. If I remember my part or anything like that, the lyrics I wrote.
Yeah.
In the middle of the beat while all on the phone. Like that phone is, bro, I got like maybe like 7-8 inches of screen, man. 8 inches, nowadays ain't much. Like we're still talking about phones, by the way. But that's why I've been put off on doing all that, like the music end part on my end. And this guy, I mean, he's dropping TikToks left and right, like every week at this point. Like, yeah, I need to catch up. So when I get this set up, I will. Well, that's why. That's why I've been off on the music grind. But I'm still writing. I still write lyrics and stuff. But the recording aspect, I'm waiting till I get it all set up.
Yeah, and check me out on TikTok, Beast Daily. Since he wanted to mention that.
Yeah, just Beast Daily. Don't worry about that, listener.
Yeah, don't worry about him. Who is he? It's been a while since you posted. I think it's like March.
It has
somewhere around there.
Actually,
Yeah,
hold on, pause. I'm gonna check real quick.
So I've done a decent amount of open verses lately, and I'm still writing a lot to newer songs, and we're gonna have some more stuff coming out later. Did you find that?
Found it, by
Yeah,
the way.
I mean,
Yeah, I found it. First of all, you were wrong. It was actually February.
Oh, okay, that's worse.
Yeah, but you were still wrong, so I'll take the points for you being wrong.
No, okay, all right.
It was late February. It's February 28th, I think it was. It said.
Oh, so it was almost March. Wait, was it?
Listen, man, I was working to get on this job. Okay, I was focusing on getting this job so I can give the people what they want.
Okay, I give it to you. I know, but we still need to, we need to get some more coming out soon. We'll have a lot more music coming out, especially now we can get in the actual setup. We're going to really work on that too. Continue doing podcasts, but music is something for both of us, and we've got a lot of stuff lined up. So see how all that works out.
Yeah, but, yeah, we do have a lot of beats. We have a lot of beats like in our like disposal. We got a lot of them saved up, and we got a lot of lyrics already pre-written and stuff that we're ready to record. So all we're waiting for is just me to get paid to get a computer. But I mean, great things come to those who wait. Okay, not everything, when it's worth it, is gonna take a while. Okay. So that's the excuse I'm going with. It sounded good, but
we'll go with that. But so on a actual serious note here, since the last time we had our podcast, there was actually a terrible school shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde on May 24th. And that was terrible.
Yeah, it was very sad when I heard about it. Like, being an uncle and stuff, having a niece and stuff, I can only imagine like the pain that people are feeling for that. Rest in peace to the souls who are lost. It's sad to see that the world has come to this. Growing up around our age, like we had stuff to worry about, but nothing to this degree. It was, times has definitely gotten worse for all kinds of people. Rest in peace to the families and faculty and anybody who lost their life in that situation. If you guys don't mind, we can just do a moment of silence for the people who passed away.
Yeah. That was 19 students, 2 teachers, and 17 people were wounded. But yeah, those 21 people who were killed, that rest in peace. And like you said, when we were going to school, you really didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. We just worried about just passing. Going it's school. We just gotta pass or fail and worry about our homework, and come home, play video games, or go out and play sports or whatever. Like, we didn't have to worry about anything. And in today's age, it's really sad to think about, like, if you have children or anything, and then like I send them to school, like that's not a safe place anymore to go to.
It used to be one of the safest places. Like, it's
yeah. And now it's like, I mean, how do you prevent that now? How do you, who knows what the solution is? There's so many things that people put out. It's either, ban guns, or you give the teachers guns, but like there's still other things that can be done, even if those methods are used.
I mean, it's like like I was thinking before, like it's hard to prevent something like that because something like that's so unpredictable. So like it's hard to prevent the unpredictable. Like, there's other things like the stuff you mentioned. There's like you could put metal detectors and stuff like that, treat it like a courtroom or something, put metal detectors at the front doors. But again, like at that point, it's so much for the kids to deal with, like at any age. Like for kids to have to go
Mm-hmm.
through that and be treated like they're in a prison for the innocent ones that don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, it would suck to feel that way, but it's still better than worrying about your life.
Yeah. I mean, something has to be done at this point. I feel like I don't know what fully. Um, Something has to be done toward that, to try to at least slow it down, like prevent it. Like it's just something has to be done, and because it's happening way too much. And we
hmm
really gotta be worried about children.
Yeah. Also, I mean, rest in peace to the people who lost their lives and injured in that hospital shooting as well, and the
Oh yeah,
Buffalo shooting.
yeah,
Both, like
yeah.
all these events are taking place. Like the world's gotten so bad lately, and we have to look at each other in as the human race all together. We need to put aside all of our differences and care about the innocent that lose their lives in these situations. We need to make sure that we all agree and all come together. It's difficult, but at the end of the day, it's what we need to do. We need to make sure we see no difference in color. Like there's no racist issues.
Hmm.
Black, white, Spanish, Asian, all of us come together and see that there's no difference besides like our blood. Like it's all the blood type. We're all the human race. We're all together. We should care for each other, love each other, no matter our race, our financial background, our education, no matter what.
Hmm.
We all need to come together and agree that all lives truly can get along together and focus on this dangerous stuff going on with the school shootings and just public shootings. Actually, like not
Yeah,
just school
yeah,
shootings. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's such a big task to take, but we all need to get together and do something because this is tragic. It's so sad to see kids that lose their life and people in the hospital like who could have gotten better and lived the rest of their lives out and got killed. Kids who
Hmm.
won't get to live the rest of their life because of that. Anything of the sort is just something that really needs to be done. Something about it.
Yeah. Something really does have to be done, and hopefully, hopefully we can get those steps toward trying to prevent that. But you know, I don't know. Really, that needs to be worked on.
So, I think we can end this topic here on just sending our greatest condolences to the families and friends of the victims of all these shootings. Um, make sure you reach out to close one, loved one, friend, family, and spend time with them. Anything,
Hold them
you
tight.
never know what happens. Hmm?
Hmm. I said, hold them tight. Hold your family tight.
Oh, yeah.
Keep them close.
Mm-hmm.
You,
Yeah.
you never know when the last days are.
Yeah. So, um, on a different topic, again, one more time, rest in peace to the family and friends,
Hmm.
uh, loved ones that passed. But we also wanted to touch up on the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case.
Yeah,
That was kind of a big thing too on online and everything.
that was something that happened after our last podcast as well. Um, that was that was a doozy. That was that was something. Um,
Yep.
that was something. So pretty much Johnny Depp won, and Amber Heard won one of her counter sues, but most of it really Johnny Depp really won that on the defamation case, and it was a really, if any of you watched that and had any connection to that at home, you really felt how that went down. It really hits you differently because you've been through that too, and you're like, man, Johnny Depp, and this is from my point of view. I feel like he really was abused. He may not be a perfect person, um, and he doesn't think that. He said it himself. He's not a perfect person, but at the end of the day, he really was in my view, I think he was, abused from Amber Heard, and there was a lot of times that she was caught lying while she was up there. There's been so much proof onto her, and just people lying from her witnesses' side and doing whatever she did with the napkin in the nose and whatever was in her drink. That I I don't know. That woman. I don't know what else to say on her, but um, I just I really felt for Johnny Depp during that whole thing, and I'm glad he at least got his closure on that, and the public saw what really happened. Um,
Yeah, I think a big issue that happened there was a big issue that we have nowadays with male and female situations is, for one, abuse of any sort is always wrong. you know
mhm,
Emotional, physical, mental, anything, that's always wrong on either end of the spectrum. No matter who is laying hands on who, you should never lay your hands on another human being, no matter what, unless it's complete self-defense.
yep.
I believe that's the only time it should be justifiable. But
Mhm,
with that was also another big issue was, you know, a lot of people saw that men can also be abused. That's a big thing. That's a big thing nowadays. Actually, maybe throughout history, like, men are supposed to be the tough ones. Men don't cry. Men, emotions don't matter sometimes. And not saying that's all the time. Not saying every person, every female looks at it that way. Um, but that's a common thing with men, is their emotions and stuff like that don't get taken into consideration. So
mhm,
that was a big step in that right there, because you know it gives certain people hope to, like, be able to open up and express how they're feeling and express what they're going through and stuff like that. Um, but I mean,
which was actually one of the biggest things in the whole case was when she actually was on the recording saying, go ahead, Johnny, tell the world that you've been abused and that all that, and he did. He finally did, and
hmm
she didn't think anybody would believe that. And so either side, like he said, don't. It doesn't matter what the gender is, who you are. Like, there's no need to put your hands on anybody, and that's a big thing nowadays. But what's I know there was a lot of stuff online about all of this. Was there any favorite memes? I know this was a big thing on TikTok.
yeah. It's, we don't mean to laugh at the situation of the case or whatever, but
Yeah.
there's some moments that were kind of genuinely funny, because you know when you get caught lying in court,
Mm-hmm.
you can't help but laugh at it.
Yeah.
So, when she got caught with her lies and stuff like that, she pulled the acting out. She tried
Yeah.
acting and
Tried, tried,
making a big
tried to
scene.
pull the acting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And for somebody who was an Aquaman, you would think she'd be a better actor. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, like I could probably fake cry better than that.
She had no tears the whole time. None.
But man, just all over TikTok, man, when I kept seeing that oh, my dog stepped on a bee. Dude, I couldn't help but laugh
Uh,
at that every time, because people just got so creative with it.
oh yeah.
Man, the internet is brutal. Like, man, they
Yeah.
let her have it with that meme, because it was just so funny, man. Like,
It was.
wow.
It was. It was. There
What
was a lot
about
of
you,
good
man?
stuff
What's
with that.
is that your favorite? You got a different one, man?
That one's up there with one of my favorites, but I think mine would probably be the one where Elaine, who was Amber Heard's lawyer, when she was going at the former TMZ employee and who was on Johnny Depp's side, and she said that he was, trying to get that 15 minutes of fame, and he went back at her, and man, that was one of the best moments I think because it was true because she, the day after the whole case was closed, she went on to the Today Show and did a whole interview about the whole thing. And it's like, why are you doing that? Like, why don't you respect the jurors and everything? And she went and said that it was because of social media and all of that. But like, you're not supposed to do that as a lawyer. You go in there and you, whatever the jurors say, that's what is done. You don't put these false narratives out and say that it's because of social media.
She was trying to make her 15 minutes into 30 minutes of fame.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And she gave that former TMZ employee, she gave him that 15 minutes of fame from that. Because I mean, that was just one of the top TikToks that, man, that
was such a quick clap back, dude. I don't know if I'd be able to think on the spot like that. That was bro.
Speaking of clapback, the Golden State Warriors are actually back to being in the finals and winning the NBA championship.
Yeah. Okay. So pause real quick. I just want to pass it over to Beast to do his little sports segment on basketball. It's your show. I'm gonna just go.
He's more of a football guy. He's New York Giants, whatever with that. But anyways, yeah. The Golden State Warriors actually just won the NBA championship. Oh, hey.
Oh.
Get back in here. Get back in your seat. But yeah, they went back to the finals and beat the Boston Celtics in Game 6. And Stephen Curry, man, whew, that boy, he's gonna. That's a really big. I think that puts him in the top 10 all time. I know it's a big debate right now about being in the top 10 all time players. I don't really have a list of who should be in or out of it. But I think, Curry has proven that he's the greatest shooter that's ever played. And in my opinion, the best player overall ever is Michael Jordan. But Stephen Curry, what he's done, 4 titles, that's a big thing to do for anybody. And who knows, he might go back next year. I could really see them being another contender next year. But he's a really good player, and I think this finals here with him getting finals MVP, I think that puts him in the top 10 all time. So we know you have really nothing to put in on this.
I want to ask you a question, actually.
Okay.
So I want to ask you, who's your top 3 in basketball and why?
Top 3. Well, that's tough. That's tough. That might get might get a good debate here. Number 1, Michael Jordan. As I just mentioned a little bit ago, I just think he's incredible. He's a great player. Number 2, I think I probably will go with LeBron.
LeBron
I'm not the
James.
biggest. At least you know that.
I know the memes. Yeah.
I think I'd go with LeBron. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but mainly because of what he did when he went to the Heat and got his super team, and then went back to Cleveland, and then went to the Lakers and did all this. But I think I'd put him there. I don't think there's anything he could really do though to pass Michael, just because of his finals record and all that. But then number 3, I think I'm going to go with Wilt Chamberlain. I think he was one of the greatest to do it too. They're all 3 of those are just really great players that's played, and I think that would be my top 3.
All right. So, question is, Stephen Curry or Kobe? Rest in peace, Kobe. But yeah, I don't know much about basketball, but from what I hear about Kobe, he was a great player.
Yeah. I still would I'd put Kobe ahead of Curry. I mean, if I was to do a whole top 10 list, I would. I should have
I'm
probably
sure
came
they
up with
both would
something
be in
like
it.
that.
But...
I would put them both in it, but Kobe I would put higher. I mean, man, he was a great player. I mean, him and Shaq when they played together, and Shaq, that's another one, top 10 for me. I mean, it's just a monster. But Kobe, he he was really really good. So
he was also very
I
he was very a kind soul too. Like he was a very kind
yeah
person, and like
yeah
I don't know, he's very humbling too. Like he was very humble and
mm-hmm,
stuff too. Like that's one reason I really
mm-hmm,
respected him too. Like he didn't let anything really get to his head.
mm-hmm. Yeah. There was so many moments. Just one of my favorite was when he was saying, it's not over yet. The series ain't over. What is there to be happy about?
Mm-hmm.
He really stuck to it. He was like a mimic of Michael Jordan, but he had his own stuff that he put into it. But I mean, I think he was the closest to Michael that we've seen. So I don't know. I feel I really wonder what my top 10 would be. But I don't think I could put it off the whim here. But
Yeah,
I definitely
we could
would
talk
put
about that
Kobe
next
off.
time. Like, stay
Maybe we
tuned.
could.
Next
Yeah,
episode,
I'll
we might
come
bring
back.
that
I'll
back.
come back with a top 10 list. We'll see what we can bring in.
Y'all wait till football season. I'll start talking more about sports then.
Yeah, that'll be good. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. Who is the greatest quarterback of all time, in your opinion? Let's give you a little question.
Ooh, man. Of all time?
All time. And don't say
Man,
Eli
I don't
Manning because
know.
you're a Giants fan.
I was just about to say Manning too. Man, I don't know. It's hard to choose of all time. But can I go with the top three at least? I gave you a top three. Like you.
Okay. Go to the top three. Go to the top three.
All right. Okay. For no order, by the way. It's not an order, but I would go Manning.
That's a cop out. Which Manning?
Manning.
Peyton or Eli?
But is that really a question?
I mean, I'm asking you because you're the Giants fan. So if you're actually thinking Eli,
listen, Eli. If you ever happen to watch this, I love you, man. But
yeah,
he was no Peyton. He was no Peyton.
Yeah, no, he wasn't no Peyton, but he was definitely Tom Brady's kryptonite. That's for sure.
I think the Giants in general are just Tom Brady's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Just the New York Giants.
But
so
go ahead.
Peyton,
so you got
Peyton for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the top three. I would go. What's his name for the Chiefs? What's
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I think he's really really good.
All time?
I would.
Okay.
I mean, from my lifetime, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. I'm not speaking on football when I was like playing mad before I was born. But yeah, so Mahomes, Manning, and as much as I hate to say it, I have to give it to Brady. Like Brady has to.
I was about to say, man. Yeah.
I hate him. I hate this dude. Brady, have you seen this? No hard feelings, man. But I don't know. I guess it's like the fans that follow him. Like I think that's the toxicity of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes me hate the guy, like his fans, because they're diehard fans. They will die on that grave that he is the greatest of all time.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, like all feelings aside, I have to give him the top three at least. He is really good at what he does. He is a really good quarterback. But man, those have to be my top three.
Yeah. I think another reason why people hate Brady is just the whole cheating scandals that went on. The deflated football.
I mean, it did happen quite a few times with Patriots, but
and Bill Belichick, I think that really made people not like Brady. But since he's been on the Buccaneers, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, so they're in our division. But since he's been on the Buccaneers, he's really been a lot more. He's been different than he was when he was with the Patriots. So,
I know. I mean, how long has he been with the Patriots? Like, how long has he been with them? Like,
he was with them
for a while.
Yeah, and I don't know how many years it was, but I know he's been with the Bucs now for 2 years? This will be going into his third year, I think. So since you gave your top three, I'll give mine. I can't put Patrick Mahomes in my top three yet, just because I mean he's not done enough. He's great. He is a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I cannot play him in my top 3. I will keep Peyton Manning in there, and I will keep Tom Brady because I think he's been a really great quarterback for a very long time. But my third would be Joe Montana. He's that when he played, man, you
What team
can't.
is that again?
It was 49ers. He played on the 49ers with
Okay.
Jerry Rice, who also is probably the best receiver to ever play. Some say maybe even the best player ever, or Lawrence Taylor. But um, Jerry Rice definitely is one of the best receivers with Randy Moss. I think they're both great. And Steve Smith. Steve Smith was one of the greatest receivers. I don't care what anybody says. He should have got Hall of Fame this year. That man was a small receiver, but I've never seen anybody play like he played, man. I miss the days of Jake Delhomme to Steve Smith. That's Panthers, if nobody knows. But taking away the bias of me being a Panthers fan, Steve Smith was just so great. Like the passion he played with was incredible.
That's how I feel about Odell. That's how I feel about Odell. Like I'm a big Odell fan, and I loved him when he played for the Giants. But after the Giants, I still like him as a player because he is really good at what he does.
Yeah, he's good. I don't know. He's one of them drama receivers nowadays.
Hold on.
Look, man, that's what he. There's been a lot of drama surrounding him. That's just what some receivers do. Okay,
Have you seen those recordings, man? You seen him snap his ankle up, bro? Like that's not drama, bro. That's damage.
Okay, not in that sense. He's just he always wants the ball. He's one of them. He with the Baker Mayfield thing where he wanted Baker out. Like I don't know.
I mean, if you're good with what you do, you're good at what you do, man. Like he almost caught every ball Eli threw at him, man.
I know. Like I said, he's a great player. He's in that.
Oh, so he's like one of your top 3 of basketball, like Michael Jordan, the ball hog.
No. Look, Michael had his things too. He didn't always pass. He did sometimes, but can't compare them. Okay, that Michael Jordan is here. Odell is here. Okay, there's a huge gap. You can't do that. Plus,
let's just hope we don't go back into his baseball career.
Okay. Okay. Michael Jordan's baseball career is Odell. There you go.
Yo, Odell, if you're hearing this, man, it's all him, man. I want an autograph.
No, that's why you're doing all this, because you want an autograph. That makes sense. He's a great player. He's a great player, but I don't know. I think he's not on the level of of how Antonio Brown went full blown crazy. But I don't know. I just think he's like that. Man, that's my opinion. Okay.
Yeah, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. It's okay.
Look, man, just because he played for the Giants, if he didn't play for the Giants, you would never like him. You would never like him. He's just known for a one-handed catch that he got over his shoulder, and one of the greatest catches I've seen. That was it.
What about Cruz?
He was good, but he ain't up there in the top.
I was gonna say, man, you remember the Giants when they were in their prime with Cruz and Odell and everything, bro?
Yeah.
Man, those were the days. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the Sauce king, bro.
Look, man, you're reminiscing. I reminisce too back to the Cam Newton days and of 2015.
When Cruz didn't miss either, bro. Man.
Yeah, no, they were good, but it's just like me though, man. 2015, Cam Newton took us to the Super Bowl. We were almost undefeated. Lost one game in the regular season, then went to Super Bowl and lost to Von Miller. That was sad. was a terrible time. Anyways, enough of the rambling about football here. This sure has been a podcast. And hope everybody has enjoyed most of this. It's been fun. And we'll
I think we've bothered everybody enough. I think we're good to
we
the show. Sorry, we kind of got lost track of time. We got in our football bag and there was no stopping us until one of us stopped it.
When football comes back around, we're probably gonna have a couple more.
We'll have a few podcasts strictly on football.
Strictly on football. But I'll try to make sure to come up with a top 10 list in our next podcast, and see what I can come up with in basketball, and then hey, maybe you can come up with a top 10 in football all time.
Okay, we'll do that. Next podcast we'll discuss this. I'll come up with top 10 in football, and we'll do top 10 in basketball.
Yep.
And we'll discuss from that. Well, actually, he'll discuss from that with me on football because I can't challenge anything he says on basketball.
I mean, yeah, you can just take mine for word, just agree with it.
You're a Panthers fan. I have to watch what I say.
All right, you're a Giants fan. Look.
But yeah, no. I think that's a good time to cut it right here, man.
Yeah, that is good. So, like I said, I hope everybody enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next podcast. Again, you can find us on any audio and video streaming platform. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See you next time.
Yeah, so I've done a decent amount of open verses. So. Cut. All right, we got a racetrack outside. We're definitely cutting here. We're cutting.